Okay, now this is going to be called, this show is going to be called A Plan to Get You Out of Debt. I want to get you fired up. I want to get you fired up to get you out of debt to these stupid credit card companies. And I'm going to give you a plan right now, tonight, right here, right now. First, I want to put a fire under your pants somehow. What have I got to tell you to get a fire going in you? To start to think, hey, you know what? I can do this. You got to think to yourself, hey, you know what? I can do this for real. First off. And you got to think to yourself, I'm going to listen to what he's got to say. I'm going to pick what he's got to say to pieces. Some of the things might not apply to me, right? But some of the ideas he has, hey, they're good. You know, they're good, reasonable ideas, and it might help me actually get out of debt to these stupid credit card companies. So I'm going to lay out the plan to you. You'll have to customize it for yourself, the plan. But the general plan is sound, and it will actually get you out of debt to these kooks who have got you into debt and are charging you right now unbelievably exorbitant interest rates on your cards. So, okay, first let's talk about it. A lot of you out there, what you've been doing is going from card to card. And right now, you got one big card that's your big one. It's your biggest one. That's the biggest debt that you owe the biggest amount to. You know which one it is. Let's just say, just for the fun of it, let's just say you owe $10,000 on that particular card. That one card. And let's say you got about 4 or maybe 5 other cards, and they're smaller. You don't owe as much on them. But you got the one big one, the one big $10,000 one. And let's say that every month they send you a bill and they want, I don't know, I'm just going to guess, say they want $250 minimum payment on that particular card. Okay? And let's say you got about 4 other cards, and it's just killing you every month. It's just killing you. Because you got to make the minimum payment on all these cards. And this is going to go on forever, because every time a big bill comes due, something that you need or something that happens, say your kid's got to go and got to get dental work done because they got some sort of a cavity or something, you put it on your card. Right? And that just keeps that card topped out and the other card's topped out. And you just can't seem to get your head above water and get these stupid cards paid off. Say you got about 5 of them. I'm going to tell you how to do it. First off, you got to get fired up about this. First off, you got to think to yourself, hey, let's try something here. Okay, I'll tell you what to try. First off, every day of the month, on the way into work, you stop and get your coffee. Maybe it's at Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know. And you pull in to get your coffee in the morning, and that coffee costs you about, I don't know, by the time you get a donut with it, $3.95. So it doesn't seem like a real big thing to you. You say to yourself, well, you know, it's only $4. It's no big deal. I need that on my way to work. I need that to steady my nerves. Okay? But let's think. That's $4. And you do that 5 days a week. You do that for 4 weeks during the month. Right? It's basically $5. So 5 times 5 is 25 for the first week. And then the second week, 50. So that adds up to $100 a month for that coffee stop. Plus, you generally get a donut. And you notice that these donuts have been making you fat. And the coffee, you like to put a few sugars in it. And it's been helping to make you fat. It also makes you out of breath. You know? And it ups your heart rate. None of it's any good for you. Really, it isn't. It's just something that you feel like you need this. Why you feel like you need this is to steady your nerves and stuff for the day. Okay? Well, I hate to tell you this, but we got to get fired up on this. We're going to cut that out. We're going to cut it out. Cold turkey. Going to go cold turkey. We're going to drive right on by there every day on the way to work. We're not going to stop there. We're not going to get our donut. We're not going to get our coffee. Now, what we're going to have to do is replace that with something. Some little treat in your life. You're going to have to give yourself some little treat to replace it with. I don't know what that little treat would be, but something a little bit more inexpensive. Something that's in the line of just maybe some sort of little treat that you can give yourself. So Okay, we've determined that. Now, your problem, it might be different. You might not have that problem. It might be something else. It might be like a chocolate bar at work from the vending machine. Or it might be some other little problem we're going to have to cut out, right? Now, if you're married, your spouse might do the same thing. You can talk to her and find out how she spends $5 in wastes every day. Now, if you're spending $5 in waste every day, over a month, that's $100. And if she's doing it too, there's another $100 you can trim off. There's $200 right there. Okay? So those two things, you talk it together with your wife, talk to her, and talk to yourself, and ask yourself, where am I spending $5 wasting every day, and where's she spending? You get those two together, you got $200, right? $200 extra that you didn't have before. Now what you do is, you've been paying the minimum on all these cards. You haven't went behind on that, right? You've been doing that. Now here's the plan. What you do is you take that $200. It wasn't that hard to find it to trim $200 off of your expenses every month. You found just a few little things that you changed, like you don't get that candy bar every day now. You've stopped that. You take something from home in a brown paper bag to satisfy you instead. So instead of getting the candy bar now, you make your own fudge at home on the stove, which costs almost nothing. You can put together enough for a whole month, your own fudge, and you put a couple pieces in a brown paper bag, and you have that instead of the candy bar. So you're trimming off $200 a month, roughly. And you and your wife are doing the same thing, so you're saving $200. So now you were paying all the cards to the minimum amount across the board. Here's what you do. You take that top card, that $1,000 card that you pay the minimum on, and say you're paying $250 a month on that particular card, right? And it's a $10,000 you owe on it. Continue to pay the $250 you've been paying on that particular card. Pay the minimum. But on your other cards, take that $200 and distribute it across the other cards so that you pay more than the minimum. So that you pay almost, if you can do this, pay the equivalent of the minimum you're paying on the big card across all the other smaller cards. So you're paying more than the minimum on these other smaller cards. Try to pay the equivalent of the minimum you're paying on your big card, your $10,000 card, even on the card you only owe $500 on. So that $250 payment that you'll pay on your big card, pay it on all your cards, or try to. And especially, now the smallest card, the one you owe the least amount on, try to hit that card with the most money that you can put on it. Now once you've established a set amount that you're going to pay on all these cards, you figure the amount that you can afford, the most you can afford to pay on all of these cards. Say you owe on 5 different cards. And you figure to yourself, I can pay $750 a month on those 5 cards. Right? That's what you figured in your head. Go ahead and distribute that across your cards and start paying it. The first thing you'll know is that smallest card, the one you always were paying $500 on, right? The first thing you know, you'll get that card paid off. Still keep the payment amount that you decided to pay on all the 5 cards at $750. Transfer that money you would pay on that smallest card to the next smallest card and double the amount of payment on it. You'll find the next thing you know, that card, say you owed $1,000 on that particular card, the second largest one. Boom, you get that paid off in no time. Right? Then take the money, you still keep paying that $750 and transfer it to the next smallest card. So now you got 2 of them paid off. Now you got that next smallest card and say you owe $1,500 on that one. Well, just in a few months you get that one paid off too. And still keep it at $750 payment every month. Keep nailing it. Well, after you get used to paying that $750 every month, don't cut it back after you've got a couple cards killed. And I mean, you've got them down to 0. And you don't owe it on them anymore. And the thing is now, don't charge nothing during this period of time. Do not charge a penny on anything. Do not pay. Pay cash for everything. So now you got your second card paid off. Now you got your third card paid off. First thing you know, you have your fourth one paid off. And you only got one left. Still keep it at $750. So you start hitting that big card with $750 a month. Boom. 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 Down, down, down she comes. I'm going to tell you, it won't be long. You'll have that big card paid off. And you'll have all the little ones paid off. Don't charge anymore once you get to that point. Still, now you're joyous. You're having a big party. You've got it all paid off, right? Now I'll tell you what to do. That $750, now you've paid it for a long time. You're used to that now. You're used to coming up with that extra $750 a month. You've got all your cards paid off now. Now what you do is you take that $750 that you get every month, you were paying your cards off with, and you go out and you start buying physical silver with it. That's what you do. And you buy yourself some physical silver until you get what you consider to be a nest egg of physical silver. A nice little nest egg of physical silver put away. And you'll feel so proud of yourself. Then what you do is you stop buying physical silver, and then you can start buying some cryptocurrency too to add to your stash. And maybe a little bit of gold to add to your stash. This is what you do. And the first thing you know, you'll have yourself in a position, a very nice position for yourself. So if something happens, you know, to your job or whatever, you'll have something to fall back on. So now we've talked about this whole thing of how to get out of debt. Let's talk about how to, okay, this is not on topic for my station. Normally I don't talk about things particularly like this, but I'm going to give you something to tell you how to actually keep your, now, if you're diabetic. I wouldn't do this if you're diabetic. I'm going to talk about something to actually keep your blood sugar stable all day long, so you don't feel like you need to go to McDonald's, or not at McDonald's, but Dunkin' Donuts, and get that big jelly-filled donut anymore, and you won't feel like you need that coffee anymore. Because while you're getting that coffee, while you're getting those candies out of the gum machine at work and stuff and paying money, soda pops and stuff like that, is because your blood sugar gets low during the day. So when you go on this program, I'm going to give you a little thing to try and help you, and it's a little bit difficult to get used to, but if you get used to it, this will help you not only lose weight, but to stabilize your blood sugar long into the day. It'll stay with you all the way up, even past lunchtime. Heck, it'll stay with you right till supper time. And you might not agree with what I'm going to tell you. You might, if you like it, if you don't like my idea on this, then don't do it. But if you like my idea on it, try it. And you might find that it really works for you. First off, go to the store and get yourself a cast iron frying pan. And a nice size one, nice, probably at least a 15-inch size cast iron frying pan. And season it for yourself on your stove and oil it up. That's what you do. You keep them oiled. Now, why I'm telling you to get a cast iron frying pan is you need iron in your diet. We don't get enough iron in our diet. Another thing that none of us get enough of in our diet is iodine. Don't get enough iodine in your diet. You should take some kelp. So you should get yourself a bottle of kelp at the health food store. So you get yourself a bottle of kelp, get yourself a cast iron frying pan so you'll have some iron in your diet. And then what you do is you make yourself a special pancake every morning for breakfast that's going to give your blood sugar stability all day long. Go into Walmart, and they got bags of great big bag of oatmeal. $1.50. I mean, the thing weighs like 5 pounds. Great big bags of oatmeal. Perfectly good oatmeal. It's no-name oatmeal, right? Get the cheapest. Just get cheap oatmeal. Go in and get some eggs. They got cheap eggs in there, too, like $1.50 for a dozen eggs, you know? And what you do is you take your eggs home, you take your oatmeal home, and you basically do this. You take some iodized salt, Get the iodized salt, the good stuff. You can buy it. It's not expensive, but it's got iodine added. And along with the iodine, you can take in the kelp. Don't go crazy with the kelp. 1 or 2 tablets a day is enough, you know, at breakfast time. And what you do is you measure out a cupful of oatmeal, and you take about 4 eggs, you know, 3 or 4 eggs. Now, you don't do this if you're on a low cholesterol diet, but believe me, this is good for you. And what you do is you crack your eggs into a bowl, you pour your cupful of oatmeal in there, you add some salt to it. Pour some salt out in your hand to taste. Pour it into the mix, and you mix it all together, right? And you make a batter. And the batter is basically eggs and oatmeal. Now, why this is good is because the eggs are very high protein. And the oatmeal is a carbohydrate, but it's a slow burn carbohydrate. What happens is the egg coats the oatmeal husk. There's a husk on the oatmeal. It's like a husk around the oatmeal. The egg coats that with a coating, just like if you painted your wall. You know how the paint would coat your wall? You know how it takes longer for wet or water to get at your wood on your house if your house is painted? Well, this oatmeal is painted with this egg. The egg is a high protein. It takes a long time for your stomach to break down that coating that's on the oatmeal. The egg coating that's on the oatmeal. So when you mix this batter and you fry it in the frying, you flatten it down in the frying pan. You put some butter in there, right? And you actually cook this thing like a regular pancake until it's brown on one side, and you flip it until it's brown on the other side. After you flip it over, and the top side's brown because you've already browned that particular side of it, then you go and you take some Kraft single slices of cheese, or any brand of single slices of cheese you want, or you can even use hard cheese, and you slice the cheese on top while it's cooking. The cheese will melt on that side of it, right? You don't flip it again. You don't flip the hot cheese onto the burner. You leave the hot cheese side up, but the cheese will melt anyway on that particular side of it, while the other side browns. You get both that side brown and the other side brown, and the cheese melted on it. Then you put it on your plate, and you add a bit of either honey or pancake syrup or some jam or whatever you like. If you like sweet, if you don't like sweet, you can eat the thing just the way it is with cheese on top of it. When you first eat one of these, it's going to taste so-so. So-so. Not too bad. Not too bad. You know, it's palatable. It's not too bad. It's almost like a regular pancake, but it's a very special pancake in the fact that the carbohydrate inside the oatmeal has been encapsulated with the protein. And it takes an awfully long time to actually break this down, right? Now, you don't eat this if you're diabetic. This is not really for diabetics, but this is for people who are in normal, healthy condition, this pancake. And you eat, depending on your size, you eat a nice big one. What you're going to find is that this pancake stays with you, man. It stays with you. It will stay with you. It depends on how fast your metabolism is. But it'll probably stay with you at least until maybe 2 o'clock or something. But if you got a slow metabolism, it'll probably stay with you right till supper time. You'll feel like you don't even need any dinner at work, and you won't want the candy bars anymore. And a lot of you are into the habit of having a candy bar in the morning and a candy bar in the afternoon, or a donut in the afternoon at work, and it's costing you more like $10 a day. You know? And this will cut through all that. And this will give you more money to put on your credit cards at the end of the month. And how much is this oatmeal going to cost? I mean, what, $1.50 for a big bag? The big bag's going to last you like 2 weeks or something like that. So you only have to buy 2 bags a month. So it's that $3 a month, you know, and it's going to carry half of your food. Half of your food bill is going to disappear because this thing is going to be half of the calories you need for the whole day. Seriously. And the health benefits of it are fantastic. Because I'm going to tell you what the bodybuilders will tell you. They say there's certain foods that work. You'll ask a bodybuilder, go ask them, say, what foods really work? And they'll know exactly what you mean. They'll say, I'll tell you what foods work. Oatmeal works, they'll say. Eggs work. You know, these are foods they call foods that work. You know, And the thing about it is this is oatmeal and egg together. This is really something that you could use to go to the gym, build muscle with. See? And so that wouldn't be a bad idea for you to pump a few weights on the way to work before you go to work every morning. Eat this eggy pancake and pump a few pumps before you go to work and go into your garage and grab that dumbbell and give it a couple pumps, before you head into work. And you'll start building muscle up instead of eating all these donuts on the way to work and coffee, which has been doing you in. This will be a heck of a lot cheaper, and half your food bill will disappear. Suddenly, you find you're saving more than $200 or $300 a week. I mean, a month. And it just goes right into the credit cards to punch those credit cards, and you're no worse for wear at the end of the month. All you've done is changed a little bit of the way you eat, and a little bit of the way you're paying the credit cards off. First thing you know, you notice you're knocking down these credit cards. So listen, I hope these ideas might prove a little bit helpful to you guys. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next show. Bye.